because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
To go. Let's see how they approach this second down. From the 47. And he just got it away before the hit, but the pass winds up incomplete. It's going to be third down.
You know, when we were growing up in the backyard, we call them alligators. One alligator, two alligator, three alligator. He needed another alligator in order to get that ball off. Credit the defense for forcing the incompletion.
The tight end going in motion right. Third and long for him here. Davis there to grab it. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down.
You know, I like the completion. You never turn down a completion. That's just not the right throw to make in that spot to move the chains.
Minnesota lined up in punt formation. And this will put an end to the drive after it stalled out. He punted a couple of times last week in their loss, and now gets this one away. He put too much juice into that one. It lands in the end zone. We're bringing things out to the 20-yard line. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Plowing up the middle. And they love to see him fighting forward, but he only gets them 3.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
Back to the well again. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. Musters up 3 yards on the run. That sets up 3rd and 4. McCaffrey running between the tackles. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
Okay, you know me, I can't resist. I thought we might have needed the old Gene Steratore index card down there. Making a really close measurement to see if he got the 1st down or not. But in the end, well, the right call was made. He got just enough to move the chains.
On 1st down, they'll run. And the power play up the gut only results in 2 yards.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. Throwing now, off play action. He lofts it deep left. That one's cut at the 10-yard line. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
Now, right there, that's what you want to see on your opening drive. Boom! Connect on a big shot, and instantly you set a tone that you're not going to be afraid to be aggressive in this game today. Boy, do I love that.
They've set themselves up well for an opening drive touchdown here, Brock. It's 1st and goal. They'll try and punch it in. Oh, he gets clobbered behind the line.
This is one of those situations, Kate, where I watch the body language of the running back because it'd be very easy for him to raise his hands up, look to the sideline in his O-line and go, what am I supposed to do there? There was nothing, no time at all to try and escape and react. Instead, it goes.
And he runs this one in. Touchdown, Green Bay. The Packers have a great first drive and get the game's first points. Riley Patterson on for the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Packers will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Stonehouse now to kick this one away. Returning in from the 16. And this return gets to the 30 before he stopped. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Fakes the handoff, now to throw. He puts some air under a deep throw to the left. He's got it inside the 25. One of the game's biggest plays right there as they get the markers reset.
You know, Kay, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
And they're going to get this down to the 4 before being stopped. They'll have first and goal to go now after they gained 18 on the previous play. Brown will take it in. Touchdown, Minnesota. The Vikings reach pay dirt for the first time this game. Will Lutz now on for the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Vikings tie this game 7-7. The Vikings have it teed up, and play resumes with the kick. Has this at the 6. A reverse on the opening kickoff. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. Offense ready to begin this drive. First and 10. They'll come out throwing. This is on target to Christian Watson. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
A jolt to start that drive. They're up near the 45-yard line. And he's brought down for a loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Everyone's prepped. It's second down now. Whiteout's getting involved in the ground game. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
This offense may want to try and disguise their run a little bit. I don't know if it's the O-lineman's stance. I don't know if it's a cadence. I don't know what it is. But after 2 straight plays going backwards, this defense is all over it.
So not an enviable spot here as they come up on 3rd and very long. Setting up a throw. Got to him right as he threw it, and it falls to the ground.
Well, he needed another second to deliver the throw he wanted to. You got to give a lot of credit that time, Kate, to the pass rush for getting in and forcing him to dish it before he was ready.
Here's someone from a family of punters, Ryan Stonehouse, on to punt on 4th. Fields this at the 19. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. That's the end of one here on New Year's Eve. Scoreboard showing 7s on each side. More from U.S. Bank Stadium after the break. We're ready now for the second quarter to begin. Vikings in control of it. They got this after forcing a punt at the end of one. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
That's got to be so frustrating for the runner. You're fighting the good fight. He even ripped through a tackle to stay afloat, but the blocking can't buy you enough time or room to even get back to the line of scrimmage.
Offense to the line for second down. Off the play fake, he'll throw. Finds him on the crossing route. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. It's a gain of 27 yards to move the chains.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
First and 10, ball set up at the 48. Straight ahead, it's Brown. His charge towards the line, that's right around 3 yards.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
Second down now, 7 to go. Going with Brown on the ground. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down.
They had the first down by a comfortable margin right there. Remember that play call. Put that one away. Could be a money play for them the next time they're in a similar spot.
Markers reset, ball at the 37. Going to the ground again on first. And he drives that front backward on a gain of 4.
You know, that's a good run right there to keep the offense on schedule. If he can average that type of yards per carry, this guy's going to be more than all right with letting him lead the show.
Second and 6 coming up here. Changing things up. They're going to throw now. Defense is there, and he's going down. For the moment, we've got a sack. We do, though, have a flag to sort out first before we can lock that in. Got to figure out this third down here. They'll try and throw it here. Complete beyond the marker. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. Well, 3rd and 15, you don't see many of those picked up, partner, but they found a way.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
And not much for it there. He's down to the 15-yard line. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. They'll run here with Tajay Spears. And he has this one down to the 8-yard line. That's going to go down as a gain of 7. Now they're going to have 3rd and 2.
Well, that doesn't net a first down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
3rd and just 2 to go. They're going to stay on the ground with Spears. And his short gain gets them a new set of downs.
You love a huddle? Okay, you really do. You love a huddle full of guys like this who just know how to keep the drive moving forward. There's some trust there that he's going to get the job done, and he's going to get another shot, I would guess, down the line.
This offense in position now. It's first and goal. They run once more with Spears. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
I know from the position of the quarterback, Kate, sometimes you hand that ball, you put it in the belly of the running back, and you send him right into the teeth of a buzzsaw. You can feel it from the jump, and that call from the defense, well, it came at the perfect time.
Now from the 6 after that last play. Here's second and goal. This time it's a passing play. Throw came out right as the defense got to him. That's an incomplete pass. Trying to find his tight end. And that brings up third and goal.
You know, that was a play, Kate, right there where you need to buy your receivers just enough time to get open along their routes. And your quarterback enough time to find and hit him with the throw. Time? Well, that's not what he had. O-line couldn't hold up, and it forces the incompletion.
They'll pass on third and goal. Just got it away before the hit, but it doesn't matter. It's incomplete. Fourth down coming up. Trying to find Justin Jefferson. So now they're left with fourth and goal. Will Lutz on to attempt the field goal. A very short kick here from the right hash. Bertolet able to knock it through. And that's going to break our tie and give them a 3-point advantage.
I never saw a play script that ended with a field goal. It was always a touchdown that you wanted. That's 3 points, and it's enough to give them the lead.
The Vikings have it teed up, and play resumes with the kick. Kickoff taken at the 3. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. They're out and set, first and 10. Airing it out to start this drive. Has him on the quick hitter. This is ahead for about 5. Ivan Pace able to make the stop. Now after that play, we have somebody banged up down there. Injuries never a welcome sight so close to the end of the season. They're out to attend to him. Halfway to the marker, it's second and 5. From the 31. And this one too far in front of him. It's incomplete. First time this game they've looked to him. And it'll be third and 5 coming up. Looking to the air here. Brought in along the sideline. Just need an official ruling. And they said catch. Great play. The end result there, 15 yards and a first. So it's the 2-minute warning here from Minneapolis. And it's the Packers looking at first and 10. New set of downs for him from the 46. Now a give on the counter. And he's just spinning his wheels, man, this entire first half. They drop him behind the line.
His goal's pretty clear, Kate. Crash forward, and then crash inside. Set that edge, but if you could come inside and bury that runner before it gets started, all the better.
Second and 12 behind the sticks. He's got a man left.
I know that completion doesn't move the chains, but I love it nonetheless. You make sure that defense is aware of every eligible player going out. And this time it was out of the backfield with a running back that shows he's adept at catching it as well.
Here we go, third and less than a yard. On third and short, McCaffrey. And he'll get them enough for a first down.
That is your old school meat and potatoes call right there. Don't even think about throwing it. Just rush it ahead, get what you need.
First down, and they go right back to him. And he's brought down for a loss.
This is one of those plays that I wish we had the huddle mic'd up, Kate, because I can assure you that offensive line in their own way is telling that running back, sorry, we did not give you any chance.
Second down. Hand off to the back. He's forward, gets a couple of yards. Tackle made by Cameron Curl. The Packers trying to hurry to the line. The Packers take their first time out. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Drive in dire straits. It's 3rd and 9. Back to throw. Throwing deep for the end zone. Well, they had the look. Certainly didn't shy away from it, but couldn't connect. And now they're stuck facing 4th down.
QBs, well, they're a lot like the great shooters in the NBA. Hey, listen, sometimes you're going to miss. You just got to shake it off and keep shooting away.
Riley Patterson ready for the field goal try. It's a deep shot for him from that left hash. Fields it, and he's going to run this one back for the end zone. And this is going to stay with the offense as he makes the recovery. And he's going to be brought down after getting this up to the 22. Down to 12 seconds before halftime as they come to the line. Throwing it to start this drive. And he has it along the sideline, but he got a little too close to that edge. They're going to say he's out of bounds. We've got 2nd down.
Can't cover it much better than that. Really well covered, Kate, on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
Back to throw it. He put everything he had into this one. And that one hits the ground incomplete. A single second left now on the clock.
Read and react, read and react, read and react. Got to read where the quarterback's eyes are going. And you got to react as he begins to throw to get to a spot and knock it away.
A final throw before the break. He's looking deep once again. And the defender redirects that deep shot. Nicely done. Incomplete. So that's the halfway point of this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Brock and I will be back right after this. Welcome back, everybody. Kate Scott, Brock Heward with you as we're about set to begin the 3rd quarter. The Vikings have it teed up, and play resumes with the kick. Return starts at the 3. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. They'll start this one on the ground with McCaffrey. And he'll come up with a gain of 3 on the run up the middle.
Got to be rush hour, Kate, because there's a whole lot of traffic up the middle right there. He ran right into some gridlock, and he could only manage a few yards at most.
Second down now, 7 to go. Here's a give up the middle. It looks like we can call it about 4 yards in the end. Tackle made by Cameron Curl.
You know, this is an offense that will emphasize the ground game at different points of each and every contest. And as long as they can reliably get gains like this, it's not going to change anytime soon.
All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Back-to-back carries here. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
Kid, I'll never forget walking into the Hall of Famer Dwight Freeney's meeting room with those defensive linemen. The late, great John Tierlink, his coach, he had a little sign up in his office, and it was sacks, and that money sign was the S, because ends and D linemen make their money with sacks. But you win games when they stop the run like that for a tackle for loss.
It's a 61-yard punt that time. And it's going to be Vikings football. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. They go play action here. He throws a bullet to this big game downfield. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. They're going to move the chains after a big play, 39 yards.
I try to remind you a time or two, Kate, that you always got to start your read from the secondary forward. You got to see what the safeties are doing. If you're going to throw a ball in the middle third, deep downfield like that, you have to have tremendous awareness of where those safeties were, and the QB just nailed it.
On the handoff, this is Spears. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
I talked to a bunch of different GMs, Kate, especially around draft time, and they all say the same thing. Linebackers are so hard to find. It's hard to transition from the college game that's in so much space to this game where you've got to play in a phone booth yet have that explosiveness to chase a play on the outside down like that linebacker just did. So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run in crossing that 1st down marker.
3rd and a lone yard coming up. Dropping back to throw. That throw's knocked away and incomplete. 4th down coming up.
I know a DB in the stat sheet loves to see INT and not PBU, but as soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible, he does the next best thing and knocks it away.
3rd down pass didn't work, but the offense staying out there on 4th. Spears running behind center. And he has it down officially to the red zone at the 20. They come through with 6 yards there, Brock, and they're rewarded with a new set of downs.
You gain that kind of yardage in the run game, and you're going to gain the trust of your offensive coordinator. Plays like that, runs like that, set the table for everything else in the playbook.
They'll run here on 1st down. And it's a really nice gain on the reverse. That call came at the perfect time. It's a real solid pickup, 12 yards, and it rewards them with a 1st and goal.
Well, this offense is trying to keep the defense off balance down here in the red zone, mixing in receiver runs with everything else they love to do. And the best part is, it's working. He gets them several yards on that play.
Spears trying this straight ahead. Gets in. Touchdown, Minnesota. The Vikings push their lead further to start the half. It's a Tajay Spears touchdown. They kept it on the ground as opposed to airing it out, and that time, well, Brock, the ground game paid off.
Well, these great rushing attacks down here that could score rushing touchdowns, it takes the whole party getting involved. Yeah, the burst of the running back was tremendous. How about the launch of his blockers right off the line of scrimmage? That's a touchdown the entire way, and it took the entire group offensively.
The Vikings have it teed up, and play resumes with the kick. Fielded at the 7. Here's a reverse. He's got a lane up past the 30. And he'll go out of bounds after getting it all the way down inside the kicking team's 45.
Hey, listen, I get it. I'm as guilty as anyone. So hyper-focused on offense and defense, often forgetting it's special teams in a play like that that can swing a game. What a great return now to start out on a short field, and you've got to believe all this offense is thinking is let's capitalize and find that end zone.
From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Give now to the running back. And they take him down right along the 30. He picks up 15 on the play. And it'll be first down, Packers.
Offensive coordinators tell us all the time, big runs only happen with coordinated efforts. Great block in the spring of guys hitting blocks downfield and a back who can show off his wheels.
On the toss, it's McCaffrey. And there's a sign of life from the ground game. He's forward with a nice pickup. Good run, gets him 7. That brings up 2nd and 3.
With all these collisions these running backs take between the tackles, sure nice to get a little crease on the outside, get in that open field, and let these runners do their thing.
Second and 3 now. Now he'll throw off the play fake. Cut near the goal line. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
You know I love those chunk completions. They're so critical. Those chunk plays, they lead statistically so often to scoring. And then when you get it to a tight end and play action, it's just a little icing on the cake.
Going jumbo set on this 1st and goal. They'll try and punch it in. Has the Green Bay touchdown. The Packers shrinking the lead some in the 3rd. Well, we all knew what was coming when they got into that goal line formation, didn't we, Brock? And they just pound the rock in for an old-school touchdown.
I just sometimes love that stuff.
Yep.
Nothing fancy, nothing cute. Here's our formation. You know we're running right at you, and we challenge you to stop us, and you can't.
Patterson on for the extra point. And the extra point is no good. So potentially a key tally kept off the scoreboard, Brock. Going to see how and if this comes into play later in the 2nd half. We've got a good one here. They've cut the lead to 4 as they send it away. And it bounces out of the end zone, so they'll set up shop at the 30. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Handoff headed left to Brown. He gets it ahead, winds up with about 3. Rashawn Gary with that tackle. And now we'll get a pause here. Trainers headed out to take a look at an injured player. Let's hope it isn't anything that's going to keep him from finishing this season strong. Second down now, 7 to go. Here's Brown again. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 12 there. And it'll bring up a Minnesota 1st down.
You know, Coach gets in that QB's headset, probably told his offense and his QB, listen, I don't want to see a 3rd down on this possession. Or something kind of like that. Whatever version he told him, it worked.
And the Packers are there. He's hauled down. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
It's now 2nd and 19 at the 36-yard line.
Another try following the sack. Finds his man. It's Rashad Bateman. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. 1st down now, ball at the 39-yard line. Motion man right is Jefferson. On 1st down, they'll run. And they bring him down around the 34. He managed 6 on the play, bringing up 2nd and 4.
Well, I know this. This staff loves the athleticism and versatility he brings to the offense. That's not only as a receiver, but but as someone who can take occasional carries and turn them into good yards.
So as the clock winds down to a new year, we wind down to our final quarter. That's the end of 3. It's Vikings ball, working to carry this lead through to the end. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Off the play fake, he's going to throw. Cut at the 10-yard line. And he takes it in for the Minnesota touchdown. The Vikings now lead by 10. Extra point try now from Lutz. Extra point set right down the middle. And the Vikings drive their lead to 11. The Vikings have it teed up, and play resumes with the kick. Kickoff taken at the 3. They'll have decent field position to begin with here. Brock, he's tackled just beyond that 30-yard line. They've got first down from the 31. Now a give. It's on the turf. The ball's out. He lost it. It's picked out by the Vikings going the other way. Well, that didn't take long, Brock. One play, and they're back out there.
Well, that's how a defense can make you awfully happy as an offensive player, especially when you screw it up and you fumble. The defense picks up that offense and puts them right back on the field.
Straight ahead, it's Brown. And he's going to take this only to about the 31. 2 on the pickup there, and it's going to be 2nd and 8. They'll run again with Brown. Oh, he gets clobbered behind the line.
Hey, don't get me wrong, Kate. Every defensive guy, they watch tape in their own ways. But linebackers, well, they're a little bit like quarterbacks. They got to develop that sixth sense by watching that tape so they can diagnose and get home in a hurry like he just did.
So a tough spot now. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Hits him on the out route. And they haul him down just a foot or 2 shy of the red zone. Give him 11 yards, Brock, and a fresh set of downs.
I'm not sure how this defense let that guy slip through him like that. On 3rd down, nonetheless, he took that snap as an opportunity, and man, did he make an impact play.
Brown on the inside give. And he's going to run this one well into the red zone to the 14. Call it 7 yards, and now they'll have 2nd down and 3.
I'm not kidding you, Kate. The run of that length at the NFL level, honestly, is the equivalent of a run of 15-plus at the high school level. It's hard in the run game to make yards, and they just got a very successful one.
A give now to Brown. And he'll bring it to the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. The Vikings have likely locked up the win right there. It's what every player who scores a touchdown wants to do, Brock. He wants to get right back there, put another 6 on the board.
I've never met an NFL player content with one end zone trip in a game.
Nope.
Yeah, if you're content, you're not making it to this league. You get one, you're instantly thinking of another, and the fortunate few are able to actually deliver on it.
The Vikings have it teed up, and play resumes with the kick. This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. Well, some trickery here on the return. Tackle made as the return gets it out to the 32. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Here's the handoff. And their struggles on the ground continue as he's tackled after a small gain. It's a gain of 3 for him. That brings up 2nd and 7. Here's a throw. Dumped off to his running back. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. That one hits for 30. And that's good for a Green Bay first down. So the big play moves him well past midfield. Has him set up now at the 35. And someone stepped in. It's intercepted. And the Vikings have it as he records his 7th interception of the season. Oh boy, they cleaned up the fumbling issues from the last drive, and now it's an interception that turns the ball over.
Yeah, and 2 very different tones and tenors on these 2 sidelines. One coach is pleading, begging for some ball security. The other is simply saying, keep it up, boys. Keep taking that ball away. Job well done.
And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. They gain 14 on the play. And that's going to give the Vikings the first down. Another carry for him. And they're going to get him down just shy of midfield. Still a nice gain, though, up to the 49. Give him 9 yards. He almost moved the chains there. It's going to be 2nd and 1.
That does not show up on any explosive stat sheet, but let me tell you, Kate, that's the real deal right there. You run for that kind of yardage consistently in the NFL, you do set yourself up for success.
On the ground, Brown. And an opening doesn't materialize. He's cut near the line of scrimmage. Nothing for them on 2nd down, and now it's 3rd and 1.
Chances of stalling this drive defensively seem bleak, but how about now? Look at those odds changing, Kate. Still not great, but you could feel a little momentum on their side. Maybe they can muster it up and get back-to-back stops.
Packers putting 6 defensive backs out there defending pass on this 3rd down. And this is Spears. And he'll be brought down after getting it to the 47-yard line. A 5-yard gain on the play. And it'll bring up a Minnesota first down. Plowing up the middle. And he's going to be brought down at the 35-yard line. Pickup of 12 on that play. And that's going to give the Vikings the first down.
This offense will take that from their ground game every time. But I know, because I've been around this league a long time, runs like that, they're really hard to come by. It takes everybody. And maybe a little breakdown there on defense, too, to take advantage of.
Only 2 yards, and it brings up 2nd and 8. From the gun, a give to Brown. And he has it down officially to the red zone at the 20. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the first. Victory formation here. Looks like they're going to take a knee on first down. And he's going to take a knee.
You got to expect the timeout is coming any moment now, right? If you want another shot with the ball, you'll need every second you can conserve on that clock.
Lining up to take a knee on 2nd down. They take a knee, and that's going to force that defense to burn a timeout if they want to save any clock here.
Okay, time for the defense to think about getting that ball back. And this is where you've got to conserve every second. Got to expect a timeout coming any moment now. They take a knee, and that's going to force that defense to burn a timeout if they want to save any clock here. They could stop the clock now if they choose. In the final moments of the game, every second counts. If you're going to call a timeout, you want to be right next to that official to signal it in just as that knee goes down.
So it's a win for the Vikings. And this was the type of response you always hope to see after a loss, Brock. Get right back out there and find a way to win the following week. So for my partner, Brock Heward, and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott, saying this has been the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody. The Vikings emerge as winners as we bid you farewell from Minneapolis.